What if everything you already know is worth more than you think? Hey, glad you're here. A few years ago, I did the math on my retirement and it just wasn't there. Not even close. And then my health took a hit on top of that, which forced me to slow right down and face something I'd been putting off. I needed options, real ones. And instead of panicking, I started looking. What I found changed everything. Today, I want to talk about something really simple: how I make money online, not in a flashy way, not in a quit your job tomorrow way, just honestly what I do, how I started, and why I genuinely believe you can do this too, even if you have zero tech background. Because I didn't have one either. And here's the thing: nobody tells you you don't need one. Here's what I see a lot: people in their 50s who are smart, experienced, hardworking, and completely convinced that making money online is for younger people, for tech people, for people who grew up with this stuff. I get it. I really do, because I thought the same thing. I came from a traditional education and workplace background, the kind where you show up, you work hard, you follow the steady path, and you trust that it'll take care of you. That was my whole approach to life for a long time. And for a long time, it worked until it didn't. So let me ask you something. Has there ever been a moment where you looked at your situation and thought, there has to be a better way? Drop that in the comments. I genuinely love to know. In 2024, my health situation forced me to slow down. And when I say forced, I mean forced. Not a gentle nudge, not a quiet suggestion, a full stop. And when you're lying there, suddenly unable to do things the way you always did them, you start asking some uncomfortable questions. Questions like, what happens to my income if I can't show up? What happens to my security if the steady path just disappears? What does work actually look like for me now? Those aren't fun questions, but they're important ones. And here's what I discovered: the steady path I'd trusted my whole life, it was never as solid as I thought it was. My health scare just made that impossible to ignore. And the retirement gap I'd been quietly worried about made it even more urgent. So I started looking not for a get rich quick thing, not for some magic system, just for a real, simple way to earn money that didn't depend on me physically showing up somewhere every single day. And that's how I found digital products. I wish someone had told me this when I was starting over. So, what is a digital product? Let me keep this as simple as possible, because simple is what I do here. A digital product is anything you create once and sell over and over again without having to make it again. An ebook, a template, a guide, a course, a set of resources someone can download and use. You make it once, someone buys it, you deliver it instantly, no shipping, no inventory, no showing up. My first digital product was simple website layouts, basic stuff, nothing fancy. But here's what I learned from that: it doesn't have to be complicated to be useful, it just has to solve a problem someone actually has. And here's the part that might surprise you: you already have knowledge that other people would pay for. I'm not guessing at that. I'm telling you from experience. Your years of work, your life experience, the problems you've solved, the things you figured out the hard way, that is the raw material for a digital product. You don't need to be a tech wizard. I'm proof of that. Here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. What's one problem you've already solved in your own life that you had to figure out completely on your own? Think about that, because that's probably your first product. Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They think they need everything figured out before they start: the perfect product, the perfect website, the perfect brand, the perfect everything. I did this too. I wasted time waiting until things felt ready. Here's what I wish I'd known: you don't start with perfect. You start with simple. My first website layouts weren't perfect, they were just useful. And useful is what people pay for. The question to ask yourself isn't, is this perfect? It's, does this help someone? Does this save them time? Does this solve a problem they actually have? If the answer is yes, you've got a product. And here's the thing nobody tells you about. Starting with something simple, it teaches you everything. What people want, what they'll pay for, how to describe what you do, how to get it in front of people. You learn more from selling one simple product than from planning 10 complicated ones. Start simple, start useful, start now. The third thing I want to tell you is about what happens after you start, because this is where it gets really interesting. Once I created that first simple product and someone actually bought it, something shifted, not just in my income, in how I thought about myself and what was possible. I kept learning, I kept experimenting. I went from simple website layouts to beginner friendly resources that help everyday people build useful online skills. Each product taught me something. Each one got a little better, and the income started to stack. Not overnight, not in some dramatic viral moment, just steadily, quietly in the background while I was sleeping, while I was resting, while I was doing other things. That's what digital products do when you stick with them. They work while you're not working. For someone who had a retirement gap staring them in the face and a health scare on top of that, finding something that earns while you rest changes everything. If I can do this after everything I went through, so can you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Carl, that sounds great, but where do I actually begin? Here's what I'd suggest. I've put together a free resource that walks you through exactly how to get started. No tech overwhelm, no complicated steps, just a simple starting point for people like us. It'll also show you what's working right now for everyday people who are doing this from scratch. Link is in the description below. It's completely free and it's a good first step. So here's what I want you to do right now. Just one thing. Think about one problem you've already solved in your own life, something you figured out the hard way, something that took you years to understand, something you wish someone had handed you a simple guide for when you were going through it. That thing, whatever just came to mind, that is your first digital product idea, write it down. Just the idea. That's all I'm asking you to do today. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Are you already working on a digital product, or are you still figuring out where to start? Drop it in the comments right now. No judgment, just real people figuring this out together. And if you want to see exactly how to turn that idea into something real, follow along here, because next video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps I use to go from a simple idea to a product someone could actually buy. No tech degree required, no big budget, no complicated systems, just simple, practical steps that actually work. If this video helped you today, hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people just like you.